There have long been legends of ferocious sea monsters living off the coast of Porto Rosso, Italia. However, in reality, these sea monsters are just as afraid of us as we are of them. In fact, the only exception seems to be Luca, a young sea shepherd who longs to be where the people are. One day, Luca bumps into an individual named Alberto, a sea creature such as himself who actually has set up a life of sorts on the surface. In fact, the two begin hanging out together so much that they begin planning to eventually reach the coast of Porto Rosso and maybe buy a Vespa so they can tour the rest of the world. However, Luca's parents disapprove of the relationship and plan to send him to live in the ocean depths with an eccentric uncle, leaving Luca and Alberto no choice but to run away. In order to get a Vespa, they must first get some money, and to do that they decide to enter a race alongside Giulia, a local girl. Luca and Giulia begin growing closer together as the boys do chores to pay off the entrance fee. Unfortunately, this seems to be driving a wedge between Luca and Alberto, and soon they might need to realize that maybe the whole wide world might just be a little too big for them. This is Pixar's Luca. Okay, I hope that made sense there at the end. Also, apologize if you hear any noise. My driveway is being repaved. The jackhammering is done for now at least, so there shouldn't be too much, but I've heard a low pounding happening, so it might pop up at once or twice, so again, apologies. Anyway, this obviously is the new Pixar film that is debuting on Disney+. It's not part of the Premiere Access, which is kind of causing a bit of controversy because of, they put, Mulan on the Premiere Access, the Disney, but the Pixar ones, Soul and Luca, have just gone straight to free streaming, basically. Not quite free, but you get the idea. Where you don't have to pay extra to see them. So, yeah, there's kind of a, hey, what's going on here? But overall, I'd say, I know this film shares a lot of similarities with a romance movie called Call Me By Your Name. And I could see where there is, one, they're both set in, like, southern Italy. There is an older figure tutoring a younger figure, younger male in the ways of the world. And obviously, Call Me By Your Name is a gay romance, and I could see where people could read a gay subtext into this. I do think it's there a little bit, but really I would say more that I don't know if it's necessarily a romantic relationship, but the deeper relationship forms between Luca and Giulia, the human girl, who begins to sort of educate, Alberto kind of wins Luca over with these sort of wild tales, stories about how the stars in the sky are fish, and how he once touched the moon, and how his father's who's basically was around but then left, and he's like, but he'll come back one day, and all these sorts of things. And again, but Giulia starts kind of educating Luca to the real world, and that sort of excites him more. And you can see where there's a bit more of a bond there than there is in Luca and Alberto. There is between Luca and Alberto, and Alberto actually grows jealous as the story goes on. And then another subplot, Luca's parents piece together what's happened, so they make their way up to the surface. Basically, if you're not aware, if you haven't seen the trailers, when the sea creatures leave the ocean and go onto the surface, they gain humanoid form. And kind of from that, they realize, if we get them wet, they can turn back into, or if it rains or anything, they turn back into sea creatures. And so they basically go around getting all the kids in town wet in various forms to try to get them to reveal. And of course, there's another kind of grander overall villain in town, this very bro-douchey Italian guy named Ercole. And he basically, this race that's been being held, he's been winning it year after year after year. He's been lying about his age. He circumvented the rules by having teammates. It's like this three-tiered race. You have to swim out to this dinghy and swim back. You have to you have to win a pasta eating contest, and you got to bike all the way up to the top of this mountain and then bike all the way down and win the race. So he basically is hired second and a third to do two of the legs for him, and then he does the bike race at the end. And he's got this fancy Vespa that attracts Luca and Alberto. And Giulia, who has constantly finished second to him in all of this, has been trying to thwart him as best as she can. Now, added to all that, the town of Porto Rosso, like I said, has this myth of the sea monster Julia's father even has lost an arm and claims he lost it to a sea monster. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, there's this whole all the artwork in town, the frescoes, the stone carvings, the town fountain are all killing sea monsters. Excuse me. And so there's, it puts Luca a bit at unease, but once he realizes that no one knows that they're sea monsters, I say sea monsters, really more like sea creatures, because they say sea monsters, but there's never seemed to be any malice towards humans except those who are showing malice towards the sea creatures. So you get the point. And of course, eventually kind of all comes to a head just as this big race is about to happen. I'll spare you a lot of the exact spoilers, but one of the things is Julia, she goes to board. Her parents I don't know if they're necessarily still married, but they live separately at least. Her mother lives in Genova, where this boarding school is, and during the summer she comes and lives with her father in Porto Rosso. And Luca begins wanting to kind of go to Genova to go to school instead of traveling through the world on a Vespa cruiser. So yeah, like I said, that's where the whole jealousy angle begins to work. Like I said, the story itself is, it's well told. It's pretty basic in a way. Like I said, I could see where certain people could read more subtext into things, but I just didn't see it enough to make me think of it being a romance on the level of Call Me By Your Name. I mean, I don't know if Disney Pixar would ever really do something that overt, but still, just kind of that idea. And so, yeah, like I said, overall it's good. The animation is really well done. I think the story is solid. If I have one real qualm with it, it's the voice acting is weird. Like half the like when this film starts, everyone starts with an Italian accent, and by the end, it seems there's only like 3 characters who still have it. Everyone drops it. Everyone drops their accents about halfway through the film, except for Julia, her father, and Ericole. Sorry, Ericole. I may be mispronouncing that. Ericole, I think, yeah. And the villain, and everyone else is sort of keeps dropping their accents. It's like, guys, if you can't find actors who can't just carry an Italian accent through a film, come on. It's like, yeah, and I think too, like I said, it's a very basic story. It's not as deep as one would think. It's a pretty surface level story. Like I said, it's not necessarily bad, but the story just might not be, when you look at another Pixar movie like Up or WALL-E or even Soul or anything like that, it's not going to be on that level. I mean, I don't think I would put it down into, good dinosaur territory, but, I think it's perfectly upper tier Pixar at best, though. So, yeah, I'm going to give Luca a B. Like I said, it could have been better in some aspects, but it's still really solid and definitely worth an enjoyable watch.
At Red Lobster, you're getting only the freshest fish, because the ocean rewrites our menu all the time.
There's never been a better time, never been a better place.
Red Lobster's just filled with delicious fresh fish and seafood. So it's no wonder the fish aren't the only ones biting.
There's never been a better time for seafood. Red Lobster for seafood.
Okay, so the next video is going to be the random trade review on Darkstalkers Volume 1. After that, it's going to be the recap and review for Hell in a Cell 2021. That will probably round out June, I guess. And then when July starts, obviously I plan to see Black Widow in theaters right now, and the other big review is probably going to be R.L. Stine's Fear Street. Obviously I'm also going to be doing Loki as well. When Loki concludes, I'll do the big recap there, like I have done with WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, where I have segments that summarize each episode in one big video. So, okay, just so you know. With Fear Street, I'm probably going to do those individually. At least that way I can put out more videos in July. All praise to the almighty algorithm. So, yeah. We still should have some videos coming up here pretty soon. Here, see you all next time. Hey guys, remember, you can help support my channel at patreon.com/sleepytimeforcat productions, where you can help request a movie, even if it's something like, say, Sonic the Hedgehog or the next Purge film. I'll review it.